got these 3 trusses that have all been screwed together, and they need to be really strong because we're going to take a load from those 3 over to these 3 with a floor joist, and then there will be a dormer window. So I've already screwed these all together nice and tight. And this one's done, and then all the way up. So done it there, 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 all through there, there, and I have to do the rest of the top. And then right here, you can see that these are all nice and tight together. And then you get to a truss plate, because of the thickness of the metal, there's going to be a little gap in there. There's not much you can do about that. And this is how I'm pulling them together, is with these C-clamps. And as you get down here, you'll be able to see the daylight in between them, because these aren't fully done yet. So once they get done, they'll be clamped together nice and tight, and that'll give it more strength. Bit of work to do it, but it's the way to do it right. I still have to tighten these up down through here, the gap, but these are nice and tight here. But look at the nail head sticking out. Look how far that's sticking out after I tighten these together. That one up there, that one. This one here. So I've got screws that are drawing these together, and then I can just hit these nails in more. They were nailed together on the ground. These are ring shank nails, but still, when you're swinging these trusses in the air, it probably pulls on the nails a little, and then it's hard to really get these tight in them. It would be nice if maybe you screwed them together on the ground, then you wouldn't have any gaps. I don't know if you'd still have to C-clamp them on the ground. You probably definitely would help, but that's one of the issues, is these are not nailed tight together. So that's why I'm C-clamping all of it, and just want to do it right, and got that much more to go, and then the upper part. But this one's the same way, nail sticking out, nail sticking out. Once I put a C-clamp on the top one, that nail will be sticking out a little bit more too. So they're all flush now, but once you start clamping them together, there's going to be a gap. So drive these nails in after I get it screwed together, C-clamped and screwed together, and that'll make it right. I think the company that I want to go with originally, that was going to take too much time, I believe they were going to send these as one truss, but all pre-connected together, and I wouldn't have had to do that. So that in itself would save you a lot of time, just for the fact that if you've got the crane guy coming here and you're trying to nail these together, and you're paying him $100 and some an hour, you're paying him $100 an hour while you're nailing your 3 trusses together there, that one, and 2 down there. So by the time you're nailing 4 trusses together, you probably pay $200 in crane time. Here's one of the trusses for my house. I will share with you what I'm not real happy about. This plate here was supposed to be down here, and this other plate was supposed to be down here. They had it in the drawings, the original drawings. They didn't. I said that's where I want it, and when they came to production, it didn't get to the showroom or the manufacturing floor. So this is what I ended up with, and I didn't really have time to wait 4 more months for trusses again. The problem being is this is uneven here. You can see this it's catching, and the same thing here. That's catching. Goes fine that way, but it catches that way. And you say, well, what's the problem there? Well, when you go to put your OSB flooring on the top of this, there's just one more joint because of this plate that makes it uneven. And then down here, you've got unevenness for the ceiling, for your drywall, where if these plates weren't in here, it would be one solid 16-foot board going from there to there with no joints in between, and I wouldn't be having to deal with an uneven floor and an uneven ceiling. And it would be like, if you want to put drywall on this, there's nothing in the way, no truss plate, so it makes it nice and smooth and easy. This area here can all be used for storage. This could all be used for storage also, and living quarters, and this could be for storage. So this plate here also, same thing. You run the ruler, your level there, you can feel it catch. It's got a little lip in it, not real bad, but still it's unevenness that didn't need to be there. This plate was supposed to be up here. This plate was supposed to be up here. And so that would have made drywall go on here with no bumps. Same over here, no bumps. I've even got some truss plates. These are 8-inch truss plates. They put 10-inch truss plates on some of the trusses, and then that makes them stick up higher on the top or the bottom, depending, because they didn't necessarily get them all centered. And like I say, the very original drawing had 8-inch plates, and they would have been there and down there on the other side of that 2x4, and that would have made things a lot simpler. It's gonna cost a lot of time for me, and if you were to pay somebody to do this, it's going to cost a lot of money. So you're either going to pay in time or money. If you build your house yourself, be your time and even some money, but especially if you're hiring a builder and he's got to deal with unevenness, then you're going to pay for it, or you're going to have a floor that kind of waves at you, or a ceiling that's waving at you. Well, probably both. The way to deal with that, fix it, is you have to take a planer across there and kind of level, smooth that off. So that's what's going on with these trusses. I really suggest that you try to make sure you get two or three different quotes from different truss companies, just to see what their design is. Some of my plates on the trusses, they've got like instead of a 6-inch plate, they've got an 8-inch plate here hanging down because they said that they need it for strength. The original drawings had it up there and did not need a bigger plate, just like they didn't need a bigger 10-inch plate. So I'll go ahead and show you a couple of those plates right now. So here are the bigger truss plates, and here are the smaller ones. These are 8-inch. You see plenty of room on the top, but when it comes to these, they're full 10 inches or whatever, so there's no room in the top or the bottom. They have to be centered perfectly, and if they're not, then they're going to be in the way of your drywall or your OSB flooring upstairs. So it just, like I said, would have made it a lot easier if the truss plates were in the right location. I'll show you a little bit more here. Here's a bigger truss plate that it's flush down here, but up here it isn't. So it had to be bent over, and it's messing with the OSB flooring. So I have several of these that are like that. They're too tall, and they weren't centered on the board. And then out here we have a small truss plate, but as I was talking about the unevenness, you can see this is up higher, and then this one here is lower, and you can see what's going on with the OSB. It's high here, and then it dips down. A couple things could do is, for insulation purposes, you can make these 2x10s. It would make your trusses even stronger. You could put, those are 2x10s down there. You could do 2x12s, and having these 2x10s, you get a lot of insulation in here to keep it really cool. I think if you do spray foam on a 10-inch 2x10, you'll get almost R38, somewhere in that vicinity, maybe not quite that high. But these are on 16-inch centers. If you wanted even more solid floor, you could do 12-inch centers. That cost you more money, but those are just some options. I chose to do 1/2-inch OSB instead of 7/16. I just want a firmer roof up here. Most generally, you'd have half-inch OSB on 24-inch on centers, but being 16-inch on centers with half-inch is definitely going to give it a lot of strength, and there'll be no sagging in there. Okay, something more you might be able to do on your gable ends, when you're putting the overhang on, some people will actually do that when it's on the ground. When the truss is on the ground, then you're not climbing ladders and doing all this, and it can save you quite a bit of time. Just make sure you're not doing it when the crane guy's there and you're paying him $100 an hour to sit there while you're putting the gable ends on. But that was the little thing the crane operator said, that it was just some of the guys do that, and it saves time and money as you're building.